Most people think their brain rests while they sleep, but that's not the full picture. In truth, your brain becomes incredibly active at night, clearing waste, rebuilding memory circuits, restoring chemical messengers. All of that takes fuel. And after 60, that fuel runs low faster than you think. I've had patients tell me, "Doc, I'm sharp in the morning, but by dinner time, I feel like my brain just powers down." They'll sit in front of the TV, zoning out, forget why they walked into a room, wake up the next day still foggy. Sound familiar? Well, here's what most people don't know. After 60, your brain can lose up to 15% of its usable energy overnight. Not because of disease, not because you didn't sleep enough, but because your brain didn't get the raw material it needs to recharge. And one of the most overlooked pieces of that puzzle is B vitamins. They act like ignition switches in your brain, helping every cell make energy. But as we age, we absorb them less efficiently. Even with a decent diet, your brain might still be running on empty, quietly, gradually, every single night. That's why you can feel fine during the day, but when the sun goes down, so does your mental clarity. Now, here's the good news. This isn't permanent. Your brain isn't broken. It's just underfueled. And the fix, it doesn't come from pills or prescriptions. It starts with food. The right foods before bed can help restore brain energy and prevent those evening crashes. In today's video, I'll show you 3 simple B vitamin-rich foods that can change how your brain feels overnight. They're easy to find, easy to use, and most importantly, they work with your body, not against it. If this is your first time here, welcome to Pure Health Tips. If you're looking for real answers for a sharper, stronger brain after 60, feel free to hit subscribe. You're in the right place. Let's start with a food that's been hiding in your spice cabinet, but could be the biggest wake-up call your brain has had in years. When people first hear about nutritional yeast, they usually think of vegans or odd-smelling flakes on popcorn. But what they don't realize is this golden powder might be one of the most concentrated sources of brain-repairing nutrients we have, especially for seniors. What makes nutritional yeast so powerful is its high density of bioavailable B vitamins. Just 1 tablespoon can contain over 100% of your daily needs for B1, B2, B3, B6, and B12. These are not just vitamins on a label. They're molecules with very specific jobs inside your brain. B1, or thiamine, helps convert glucose into usable energy for neurons. Without it, your brain cells work like flashlights on dying batteries. They flicker, they slow down, they stop communicating. B6, pyridoxine, is essential for producing neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. That means it affects your mood, your memory, and your ability to stay focused as the day winds down. And B12, that one is crucial. It supports the myelin sheath, the protective coating around your brain's wiring. As B12 levels drop, memory loss accelerates. In fact, a 2018 study in the Journal of Clinical Neurology found that older adults with subclinical B12 deficiency showed significantly slower memory recall, even when standard blood tests looked normal. Nutritional yeast gives you all 3 in 1 spoonful. But there's another layer. These B vitamins do more than just fuel your brain short term. They help rebuild what's been lost. They reduce homocysteine, a compound that damages blood vessels in the brain. Lowering homocysteine has been linked to slower cognitive decline, especially in people over 65. In 2020, researchers at Oxford published findings showing that a high intake of B vitamins slowed the rate of brain atrophy in regions linked to Alzheimer's by up to 30%. 30%. That's not a minor improvement. That's time. That's independence. I had a patient named Lou, 72 years old, who used to forget where he parked almost daily. After adding nutritional yeast to his dinners for a month, he said, "Doc, I don't know what's in that yellow stuff, but I'm remembering street names again." His results may not be universal, but stories like his keep showing up. So how do you use it? Start simple. Sprinkle 1 to 2 teaspoons of nutritional yeast over warm food, steamed vegetables, mashed potatoes, even soup. The flavor is slightly nutty, a little savory. Think Parmesan, but gentler. Avoid heating it too high or cooking it directly in a pan. Too much heat can degrade the vitamins. Add it at the end, like a topping. even just a few times per week, can make a difference, especially when used consistently before bed. It's not magic. It's not hype. It's just targeted nutrition your brain has been quietly craving for years. And now that you know where to find it, we can move to a food that looks small and green, but carries one of the most underrated brain-repairing profiles in the plant world. They look like nothing more than decoration on a salad, small, green, and often pushed to the side of the plate. But sunflower sprouts are one of the most overlooked cognitive enhancers for the aging brain, and their effect starts while you sleep. What sets sunflower sprouts apart is not just their freshness, but their density of natural folate. Not folic acid from a pill, but real bioactive folate that your brain knows how to use. Folate plays a central role in methylation, a biological process that turns genes on and off, repairs DNA, and detoxifies the brain's internal environment. Methylation also supports the production of neurotransmitters, those chemical messengers that keep your memory sharp and your mood balanced. But here's where it becomes especially important for older adults. As we age, methylation slows down. That means the brain has a harder time repairing damaged cells and clearing toxic buildup from neural tissue. Folate helps keep that repair system running at night, when your brain does most of its cleanup and restoration. A 2016 study published in the journal Neuropsychiatry found that seniors with low folate levels performed significantly worse on tests of short-term memory and verbal fluency. More importantly, when folate intake was increased through diet, mental performance improved within just a few weeks. But sunflower sprouts bring more than just folate to the table. They also contain B5 and B6, which play critical roles in energy metabolism and the synthesis of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter essential for learning and memory. Acetylcholine is what allows your brain to form new connections while you sleep, turning short-term experiences into long-term knowledge. A paper in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience from 2021 confirmed that dietary B6 levels were strongly correlated with better sleep quality and memory consolidation in older adults. In short, the more B6 in the diet, the more efficiently the brain stored and retrieved information the next day. Sunflower sprouts also offer a healthy dose of magnesium and zinc, two minerals that calm the nervous system and reduce nighttime inflammation in the brain. Inflammation, even at low levels, has been shown to interfere with deep sleep and impair memory encoding. Keeping it down creates a better internal environment for neural repair. This is what makes sunflower sprouts so remarkable. They don't just support energy like caffeine or sugar might. They support the actual rebuilding of brain circuits, something that becomes harder with age and even harder when nutrient intake is shallow. These sprouts are like builders that clock in at midnight, quietly reconstructing the brain scaffolding so that when you wake, the system feels steadier, more connected, less scattered. The best part is how easy they are to add to your routine. A handful of fresh sunflower sprouts tossed into a warm dish at dinner or even added to an egg or soup bowl before bed can begin delivering these nutrients where they're needed most. This is not about finding superfoods. It's about choosing foods that are super functional, especially for the brain after 60. And there's still one more food I want to show you. It's not trendy, it's not green, but it carries one of the most complete B vitamin profiles for restoring cognitive clarity while you sleep. Of all the brain-supporting foods I've seen in clinical practice, pork tenderloin might be the most underestimated. It doesn't look like a memory booster. It's not colorful. It doesn't carry a reputation like salmon or blueberries. But in terms of B vitamin density and absorption, pork tenderloin deserves a seat at the table, especially for older adults. What makes it unique is the combination of 4 B vitamins in one place: B1, B3, B6, and B12. Each one plays a different role in cognitive function, and unlike heavily processed meats, pork tenderloin is lean, easily digestible, and gentle on the stomach, even in the evening hours. Let's start with thiamine, or B1. This vitamin is critical for turning glucose into brain energy. Seniors with low thiamine levels often feel mental fatigue even if they've had a full night's sleep. A 2019 study from the journal Brain and Behavior found that older adults with higher B1 intake had faster reaction times and better working memory scores. B3, or niacin, helps maintain healthy blood flow to the brain. Adequate blood flow ensures that oxygen and nutrients reach deep into neural tissue. Without it, the brain can enter low power mode during the night, reducing the effectiveness of overnight repair. Pork tenderloin also supplies B6, which supports the synthesis of serotonin and GABA, two neurotransmitters that promote relaxation and help regulate sleep patterns. The deeper your sleep, the more active your brain becomes in long-term memory consolidation. But perhaps most importantly, pork is one of the most absorbable food sources of B12. And this matters because B12 from plant-based sources is not bioavailable unless fortified. Many seniors take supplements, but absorption through pills drops with age. Meat-based B12 bypasses some of that digestive resistance. A 2017 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consumed moderate amounts of pork and poultry had significantly better verbal memory retention than those who avoided meat entirely. The key was portion control and timing, not large cuts, but lean, manageable servings. I had a patient named Harold, 68, who complained of waking up tired despite sleeping 8 hours. He added a small piece of pork tenderloin to dinner 3 nights a week. Within 2 weeks, he told me, my thoughts are sharper. By noon, I'm even remembering people's names again. That kind of turnaround isn't magic. It's physiology catching up once the right nutrients are in place. To use pork tenderloin effectively for brain support, keep it simple. A portion about the size of your palm, grilled or steamed, served with light vegetables. Avoid pairing it with heavy starches late in the evening. The goal isn't to feel full. It's to give your brain clean fuel. And keep in mind, not all cuts of pork are equal. Bacon, sausages, processed meats, they don't count. We're talking about lean, center-cut tenderloin, light seasoning, no frying, just enough to nourish the system that keeps you thinking clearly into the next day. Sometimes the best solutions aren't exotic. They're right in front of us, just waiting to be used with intention. Now that we've seen what nutritional yeast, sunflower sprouts, and pork tenderloin can do alone, it's time to put them together into a routine, a calm, brain-nourishing rhythm you can start tonight. Now that we've explored each food in depth, the question becomes simple. How do you turn this knowledge into a routine? You don't need to overhaul your entire diet. You don't need to count every vitamin or measure every gram. What you need is rhythm, gentle, steady support for your brain when it needs it most. Here's a bedtime routine that many of my patients have followed, and you can start as soon as tonight. On even-numbered days, focus on plant-based support. That means sunflower sprouts with dinner, mixed into a warm soup, laid across scrambled eggs, or added to a grain bowl. Right after, sprinkle nutritional yeast on top. Let the heat gently activate the flavor, but don't cook it. You want the vitamins intact. On odd-numbered days, go with lean protein. A small piece of grilled pork tenderloin, nothing fried, nothing salty, served with lightly steamed vegetables. Add a teaspoon of nutritional yeast on top just before eating, especially if there are soft vegetables to absorb it. If you're not used to eating much at night, keep portions small. This isn't a meal. It's a signal to your brain. You're safe. You're nourished. Now go rebuild. Over the course of a week, you'll notice small things shift. Less fog in the morning, more focus after breakfast, a sharper edge to your thoughts before bed. The key is consistency, not perfection. You don't need to eat all 3 foods every day. You just need to give your brain the raw materials it's been quietly asking for. Think of it this way. Every night is an opportunity, not just to sleep, but to heal, to restore, to wake up stronger than you were the day before. In the final part of this video, I'll share a closing thought, a reminder of what your brain is still capable of and why it's never too late to feed it right. You don't need to wait months to begin healing your brain. Sometimes all it takes is one quiet evening, one change in the kitchen, one gentle message to your body that says, you matter. You're still capable. You still deserve clarity. That's what food can do, not just to fill a plate, but to refill the system that keeps your memories, your thoughts, your ability to connect with the people you love. I've spent over 30 years sitting across from patients who believed it was too late to regain focus, too late to rebuild what age had taken away. And yet, time and time again, the moment they gave their brain the right kind of support, something changed. They remembered the name of a neighbor. They followed a conversation without drifting. They woke up and felt present. Those moments matter. And the truth is, your brain is still listening, still rebuilding, still ready to work with you, not against you. So whether you start with a spoon of nutritional yeast, a handful of sprouts, or a simple piece of tenderloin, just start. Not perfectly, not dramatically, just gently, consistently, kindly. You've made it to the end of this video, and for that, I want to thank you. It means you care not just about information, but about action, about giving yourself the chance to feel clear and connected again. If this video resonated with you, even just a little, I invite you to click like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Pure Health Tips. We're building a community of people who believe aging doesn't have to mean fading. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Do you have a bedtime brain food that works for you, or are you thinking about trying one of these tonight? Drop a comment below. I read everyone, and your story might just inspire someone else. Until next time, take care of yourself. Your brain is worth it, and so are you.